Hi everybody, I'm Ron Cantor and you're watching Out of Zion on God TV. And again today we're coming to you from atop Mount Carmel, where we find the story of Elijah, of Ahab, of Jezebel, and so much drama takes place right here. Now, we talked earlier about the fact that Elijah called out to heaven and God sent fire, and that should have sparked a great revival. Now remember when I told you that Elijah taunted the false prophets? And I really didn't think that was a great idea, because you never want to get too cocky, particularly when you're serving the Lord. And we find out what happens on really the very next day. It says, now Ahab told Jezebel everything Elijah had done and how he killed all the prophets with the sword. Now, remember I told you about Ahab? He wasn't much of a leader. He comes home and he reports to his wife what happened, and she is not real excited. The Bible says, verse 2, so Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah. She opened up her laptop and printed out an email, and she said, Dear Elijah, and she probably had an emoticon that was not very happy, and she said this, may the gods deal with me, be it ever so severely, if by this time tomorrow I do not make your life like one of them. In other words, I'm going to kill you. Now, Elijah responds, I am a prophet of God. I will not be intimidated by you. He rode into Jezreel and he put Jezebel down. Sadly, that's not what's written in the Bible. What happens is this. Elijah was afraid. Yes, the prophet that was taunting the false prophets the day before was afraid, and he ran for his life. When he came to Beersheba in Judah, he left his servant there. That's a big no-no. When you're going through a spiritual struggle, you don't want to be alone. You want to be with other believers. He himself went a day's journey into the desert, and he came to a broom tree, and he sat down under it, and he prayed that he might die. This is so hard to believe. The day before, he is crying out to God, and God is answering by fire. The next day, he's saying, God, could you just kill me? I'm done. I can't do this anymore. From victory to defeat so quickly. Now, what is that? That's called the spirit of intimidation. And we talked about, yesterday we talked about Ahab having a spirit of Ahab. Well, Jezebel has a spirit of Jezebel. What is that? That's a spirit of intimidation primarily used against those who should have authority over you. Elijah was a prophet of God, speaking for God, but the spirit of intimidation was so strong in Jezebel, stronger than 850 false prophets plus Ahab. And she's just a little woman. Now again, I'm nothing against women, but the fact of the matter is that 850 men are a lot stronger than one woman, except she had the devil inside of her. And that spirit of intimidation, Elijah succumbed to it, and he ran into the desert and he said, God, just kill me. And the tragic part of this story is that by the end of this chapter, the Lord is primarily finished with Elijah. He actually tells him, I want you to go find Elisha and anoint him to succeed you. Yes, Elijah does a few things after that, but pretty much the story goes to Elisha and a fellow by the name of Jehu. Now it's about, 20 or something years later when Elisha, not Elijah, anoints Jehu to become the new king of Israel. And Jehu rides into Jezreel, bold, zealous. And he comes up to the palace and he sees Jezebel, who's put on makeup, by the way, I guess to try and seduce him. And she's standing in a balcony. He says, who's for the Lord? And a few eunuchs said, yeah, we are. He said, well, then throw her down. And he does. Finally, we see the end of Jezebel, because a man of God rides in who is not giving in to that spirit of intimidation and manipulation. So I want to ask you, where are you encountering in your life manipulation, intimidation? Where are people trying to intimidate you? Through the Spirit of God, you can overcome, just like Jehu. Now make sure you go to god.tv so you never miss an episode, and you can find me at roncantor.com. Shalom from an amazing view on Mount Carmel.
Please follow Ron on Twitter and Facebook at Ron S. Cantor to find out more about Ron and his ministry. For more information on God TV and the Out of Zion programs, or to view these programs again, go to god.tv/Zion.